Good morning. This video is for all those pastors out there that are struggling in silence. Hey, my name is Gabriel Montalvo and welcome to my channel. I talk about all things self development and spirituality. And it's about 6:44 here where I'm at here in Texas. And I just wanted to create a moment here where I really just created a space to really talk about something that's kind of been on my mind for a little bit, and it's about pastors. And if you're a pastor, this video is kind of for you. And this really started because I started thinking about how there are a lot of pastors out there that are really just kind of suffering in silence. Um, why? Because they really love God and they really love people. And I think a lot of times when you are a pastor, and you don't even have to necessarily be a pastor, you could be a leader or you can be, any other religious affiliation, where you serve God through a system like a church or maybe a synagogue or mosque or whatever it could be, right? And I just think about those men and women that suffer in silence. And so this video is really just for you. I remember when I was in church and I was a youth leader, you know, the type of things that you go through, like the doubt that you face, um, the challenges, and oh, and by the way, you got to deal with people, and they come with their own set of challenges and unique circumstances that you then have to be able to deal with. And so, while at the same time, you are dealing with your own issues. And so, there's a lot of pastors that are friend of mine. And the reality is, if you grew up in like the old school Pentecostal system or any really fundamentalist church, that's like old school, when you are the leader, I think because it takes so much of your time and of your spirit and of your energy and of your family time, it really doesn't leave a lot of room for you to have genuine and real friends outside of the church. Not saying that this is everyone's situation. What I'm saying is this is just what I have observed. A lot of times your friends are your members, right? But, you know, if your friends are your members of your church, then, where is the space for you to talk freely about stuff that you struggle with? Where is your air pressure, right? To release all that pressure. And I'm not talking about your spouse, I'm not talking about your friend, I'm talking about having a genuine space um for you to let steam off. And I think it's one of those things where you don't know what you don't know. You just know that something is kind of happening. You know what I mean? And I just think about that. And I was talking with a pastor friend of mine, and he's a pastor, he's in that system, and he's like pastoring a small church, and we're not really, really friends. We just kind of we're in the same system together. And what is so interesting to me is that sometimes he's telling me stuff, right? And I'm not really judging him. It's just created a space to where he feels comfortable, where he could tell me stuff and not feel judged, right? And he was telling me stuff, and I was like, I think you need to speak to someone. You know what I'm saying? But not in a judging way, but because over time, when you're in that pressure cooker without letting air release, it starts to damage you mentally and spiritually. And it's because you don't have a sounding board. You don't have genuine friends where you can let your guard down, you know? So if I had to give, if you're a pastor or a leader in the church and you're watching this video, then this message is for you, you know? Well, Gabriel, what do you recommend I do? I mean, what can I do? Can I go out and how can I go and make friends overnight, And so I think it's raining here and I'm in my garage and it seems like it's raining really hard. And so what I would tell you is you need to start. Your calling isn't bad. Number one, what God called you to do is not bad. And number two, your members aren't bad. Okay, I know you're probably like, I beg to differ, Gabriel. But the reality is, you just need a space to where you can release that pressure. Find friends. And if you feel like, Gabriel, it's really hard for me to do that, then I recommend that you get therapy. Um, Now, there's a lot of different types of therapies, and it's kind of controversial. And what I have found out, the more if I just said that and you feel like, no, I have God in me, you probably need therapy, because the people that are guarded against, therapy and stuff like that are usually the people, in my experience, that usually need it the most. Okay. Um, but I'm not here to fight with you. If you don't want to do it, it's cool. But what I recommend is that you create a space to where you can speak open and honestly about what you feel on the inside. It could be, therapy, coaching, friends, create that outlet for yourself. And what you're going to find is when you create that space for yourself, you then now have a runway to become a better pastor or become a better leader. And so yeah, those are my thoughts, man. I grew up in it, so I know. It's not like something I know from secondhand. I know what it is. And so, yeah, that's some advice. Sometimes the calling isn't bad. It's just, you need to be able to refuel yourself. And refueling yourself is not a vacation. It's not going to a conference. It's doing what you like to do. Maybe once a week, you go to your favorite restaurant by yourself. Or maybe you go to, I like to play chess, or, um, do something that refuels you. And I think we don't talk about it enough. So, yeah, let me know if this helped you guys in the comments. Let me know if you kind of know what I'm talking about. Or if you completely disagree, let me know. I hope you guys have a great day. I was going to go walk this morning, but it started raining as soon as I was getting ready to go outside. So instead of walking, I decided to make this video. And I kind of woke up with it in my heart, So let me know if this helped you. And yeah, love you guys. See you guys.